So, this is the, I guess, first part of the interview, in which I will be interviewing Mr. Zachary Dietrich. And we already heard from his parent, his father, Brad Dietrich. Um, so we're gonna hear some, responses from Zachary. So we're just gonna start off with the first question. The first question is, what type of experience do you have with music in terms of, you know, schooling, background? You could share as much or as little as you'd like.
Well, that's a good question. Um, I've had a lot of experience with music ever since an early age. Like, uh, I grew up like reading books about music, like reading my dad's orchestration textbooks. I, I don't know that I was definitely influenced a lot by being around my parents, both being musicians all the time, and I picked up composition at an early age. I picked up piano shortly after, and I think a lot of it being in New York City and living so close to Lincoln Center gave me a lot of great opportunities to be exposed to music and uh, being in a music school with an extracurricular music program has really helped me to grow as a musician, and having opportunities to write for my classmates and um, study composition and play in school orchestras, I think. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that. So the second question is more related to the influence. So, how did your parents' musical taste influence your taste in music?
Hmm. I mean, that's a good question. I remember mom bringing me up on Bach and Louis Armstrong, and I think uh, I think that's I don't remember like hmm, I think a lot of I I liked a lot of the music that my parents were listening to. I think I spent a lot of time like exploring music by myself, and I didn't like I don't know, at an early age I wasn't even that interested in like I was kind of interested in jazz music, but not to like that great of an extent. And I know that my dad has been a jazz musician, but it's interesting to think about like my dad was into jazz and like I wasn't that into jazz a while ago. But like I don't know. My tastes have been developing over the years just with like life and experience, and I feel like my tastes have like widened in like to a variety of different kinds of music, and I think I'm pushing myself to like discover more and more kinds of music, and it's not really my parents. So I don't know.
Cool. You actually touched on a little bit of the third question, but
Okay.
I want you to maybe talk a little bit more about it. But how do you think your musical tastes have evolved since elementary school?
My musical tastes have evolved. Um, I've, I mean, I remember like my dad getting me into Weather Report, and that was like, I think that was end like, that was the end of middle school. Beginning of middle school, mom got me into Pink Floyd, and that was like, that was, I think my I think that expanded like my that expanded my horizons a lot, being, exposed to a little bit of rock music, a little bit of jazz music. It's kind of made me more curious as a listener to, like, the a lot of different kinds of music. I don't know.
Cool. No, that's great. So this is the last question. Um, how do you think your friends' taste in music has affected your taste in music?
Ooh, good question. My friends. I mean, sometimes I felt like I had to defend my tastes in music because, like, I feel like at the middle school I went to, like, there was a lot of focus on, like, traditional classical music, and because I was getting more and more into modern and contemporary classical music, I kind of felt like I was, it felt almost like a little bit like uh, culture clash. I don't know, but I feel like I've stopped being, like, defensive about my beliefs and started being just, like, curious about, or not my beliefs, but my musical taste. And I think I've started being, like, more curious about, like, other people and what kind of music they like and why. And, like, I think I think my friends have turned me on to a lot of music that I might not have discovered myself. Or if I found a friend that has, like, the one like a similar, like, one of the same favorite composers that I have, it'll inspire me to, like, look into that composer a little bit more, maybe. So it's cool. It's kind of like, being able to going to a music school. There's a lot of back and forth on, like, uh, we're always talking about music, so it's kind of cool being exposed to, like, so many different viewpoints on music and so many different eclectic musical tastes, and I like that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that information, Mr. Zachary Diedrich, and definitely look forward to hearing your compositions out there in the world because I know they will be. All right.
Peace.
Peace, love, and apple juice.